this election is so fucked up that it's got really quieted down, huh? After the last fucking debate, if that's what the fuck you want to call it. My big thing this year is I want to know, it's just fucking lose-lose. It's fucking lose-lose at the thing. And you know something, as much as I've been sitting here fucking saying, you know, Trump's a fucking racist and blah, 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 blah. It's just like, well, you know, the Clintons are from Arkansas. So, you know. I don't think they're too fucking enlightened down there either, you know? I know I'm just fucking being stereotypical here, but give me a break. Old Bill and fucking Hillary, they grew up in Arkansas in like the 50s. You might want to go back and look at some of those fucking racist, the racist people screaming at black people, kids going to school for the first time. You might want to try to pick her head out or something like that. Give me a fucking break. You're from Arkansas. I love that shit where just because you're a Democrat, that just means that, that you're not homophobic, you're not racist, or I wear blue. I just don't fucking, or that if you're a Republican, then that automatically means that you want to bury babies in the backyard. Unless they're fucking blue-eyed white babies. You know what I mean? Like that whole fucking, into the corporations and all that. They're all fucking cunts. And you know how I know that? Because I'm a cunt too, and I'm somewhere in the middle. I like to think. I definitely lean more fucking left, but I'm also a contrarian, and now I live out here in Hollywood, and I just can't fucking deal with these people out here. And that it's driving me. I don't think it's driving me to the right. It's driving me to say things on the right just to fuck with these people. Like, I love trashing Hillary out here. It's one of my favorite fucking things to do. Last night I was fucking around on stage and I was talking about that. I was talking about how, well, Hillary's from fucking Arkansas, everybody. And they all kind of laughed. I go, those fucking flyover states that you guys all shit on out here, And, of course it gets fucking... whatever. You know what the big thing is on this ballot is? Wherever the fuck you live, more important than whether that orange-headed fucking racist cunt or that devil woman with her fucking issues, right? She lived in Arkansas in the 1950s. Jesus Christ. Right? Give me a fucking break. Or you know what the biggest fucking thing is? Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. Is all the props, the state propositions, and this is what pisses me off. So I go to this website to try to figure out California's 17 ballot measure propositions explained. All right. And, all they do, they sort of explain the thing, but what they don't have, what I cannot find is all the bullshit that is attached to each one of these propositions. Like, this shit is so fucked up, and I do not understand why this is never addressed. Why on all these propositions, like no means yes, yes means no, and then there's a little bit of maybe in there. And then if you vote for the fucking shit, there's some other measure saying that, it's okay to fucking stick a baby in a snowbank for fucking, 13 hours until it freezes to death or whatever, however fucking long it would take, I can't find anything that says all the shit that's attached to it. Why can't the fucking ballot just be the proposition just be written clearly so regular people understand it? Yes means yes, no means no, and there's nothing else attached to it. Like they'll say, all right, here we go. Proposition 51 allows the sales of $9 billion in bonds, to pay for new kindergarten to 12th grade and community college facilities, the basics. Roughly 6 million students attend K. You know what the fuck it is. Proposition 51 wants to address the needs by allowing the sale of $9 billion in general obligation bonds to pay for buildings and modernizing K-12 and community college. It's the first school bond measure on the state ballot since 2006. It's unusual because it's sponsored by the building industry. Okay, right there. The fact that it's sponsored by the building industry means they're going to charge us up the fucking ass. And in the end, even though they get $9 billion, they're going to come in with the fucking tab of about $15 billion. And then they're going to be like, well, we already started it, so I guess we got to physically move some fucking shit from someplace else. Typically, the legislator would be the path for getting this kind of proposition on the ballot, but it hasn't been able to do so in recent years. Yeah, the fact that the building industry wants to do it, you already know this is crooked as shit. What you're voting on, about $7 billion, nearly 80, see, look at this shit. $7 billion would be allocated to the K-12 thing, and what, another $2 billion would be for the community college. I got to read all of this shit. Supporters include developers, builders, school board officials, and business groups. I don't like any of those people. All right? Supporters say, many of our schools need repairs and upgrades to make them safe for our children. That's very vague. Proposition 51 will improve education overall and help expand space at community colleges so more students can attend. Opponents say Prop 54 would add to the state debt, which is already more than $400 billion. How the fuck is California $400 billion in debt? Bond measures should be passed locally, giving communities control of how the money is spent. Ah, Jesus. I mean, do you feel any closer? All right, so there's one comment. Close the border, eliminate anchor baby citizenship, and reinstitute of all provisions of Proposition 187. And let's talk about building more schools. Sorry, I used to always vote yes on these. Now Sacramento has changed my vote. I always vote no on school bonds. Quid pro quo, baby. What does quid pro quo mean? Where the fuck is it? Quid pro quo meaning. I love that everybody else is as dumb as me. A favor or advantage granted or expected in return for something. That doesn't get me any close to understanding it. Quid pro quo. Jesus fucking Christ. What am I on Law and Order here? Quid pro quo means an exchange of goods or services where one transfer is contingent upon the other. English speakers often... Is this tit for tat? Yeah, Jesus fucking Christ. English speakers often use the term to mean a favor for a favor. Phrases with similar meanings would include give and take, tit for tat, and you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Quid pro quo. I guess that's the fucking snooty way of saying that shit. Let's go back to close the borders here so I can try to figure out what his fucking point is. Oh, I get it. Close the fucking borders and then I'll give money to this. All right, I see what the guy's saying. I don't know if it's right or not. All right, fuck politics. All right, you know what? I tried. I fucking tried. All right, election. Bill, the election is right around the corner. A couple weeks ago, you eulogized the Great Barrier Reef. Any last words for this election? Not the country as a whole, because I don't think it'll fall apart. But I imagine this has exposed the side of our country that we've been able to keep under wraps for a while, which is that no one ever pays attention to anything unless it's an easy talking point. That everything is more fucked up than we know or would like to admit. What's the worst thing that will happen if either candidate wins? Well, if Trump wins, the worst thing is we're going to have to listen to all these European countries talk about how dumb Americans are, especially people in England. And I just want to say to them, like, you know what? What if you threw out the person every 4 to 8 years? And I would love to see what the fuck you end up with. You know what I mean? Some years it's just not a good draft. The fucking, whatever the fuck his name is, Tony Blair, that guy's been in there since Bush. Not even saying that guy's good, but you just get somebody in there and they just stay there until they die. Doesn't he have like Margaret Thatcher's job? Ugh, the original Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton? Can't even say her fucking name. What's the worst that will happen? I don't know. If Trump wasn't such a fucking jerk-off, if he wasn't such a jerk-off, it's really what the country needs. You need somebody who isn't a part of the fucking system. You don't, but you just can't have a guy like that in there. And then Hillary is just going to be more of the fucking same. It's just going to keep driving this country towards ruin. Dude, none of them talked about the population problem. None of them talked about the nationwide heroin epidemic. None of them talked about genetically altered food. None of them talked about fucking global warming. Maybe they touched on it for a second. They haven't said shit. They're not going to do anything. None of them are going to try to stop the banks, put them in fucking line. They're building another real estate bubble. I'll tell you what's fucking hilarious out here is they are building up L.A. like I've never fucking seen. They bought up the House of Blues right across the street from the fucking from the fucking Comedy Store. They paid like $28 million for the thing. They're going to put these high-rise fucking multi-million-dollar fucking condos in there. It's like, who the fuck's going to afford to buy those things? All right? And this is the thing. After 2008, after we saw what happened, they fucking gave the houses. None of the bankers went to jail. They gave them the houses back so they could do it all over again. They're building another fucking bubble. And I'm already calling it right now. By fucking 2021, 2022 or some shit, there is going to be a bunch of empty fucking condo fucking high-rises going along the Sunset Strip. And they've knocked down the Rainbow Room, the Roxy, the Whiskey, House of Blues, maybe the Comedy Store. They're going to wipe out all of these fucking things. There's going to be nobody in those buildings. And even if they are in those buildings, they're going to have no fucking place to go because they knocked down all the cool places to hang out on Sunset Strip. It's so fucking stupid. You know, I was getting gas the other day, another place on the Sunset Strip, and this guy said, I said, yeah, you own the gas station? He goes, I wish I did. This property just sold for $14 million, and, you know, they're knocking down the two buildings next to it, and they're going to put up a fucking, 170 unit fucking, I don't know. I just don't know where all these people are going to be coming that can afford to pay. I just don't know where they're going to come from. And for what I heard, at least the ones on La Cienega, that was like oil money. Like Saudi Arabian money came in and they don't give a fuck. I mean, they get money forever. I don't know. What's the worst thing will happen if either candidate comes in is that they're not going to stop what's already going on. And I got to be honest with you, I don't even think all the Bernie Sanders and all those types of people, you would literally need an army of those people, and then they would need bulletproof vests to fucking, that's how powerful corporations are, and that's how off the fucking rails we are. I don't know, which is why I'm trying to focus on the propositions. And I wish if anybody can find a fucking website out there that not only lets me know what I'm voting for, but lets me know what is attached to it. Because who doesn't want to improve the schools, But, whenever they have stuff like that, like, hey, let's clean up the drinking water, then they attach all this other evil shit underneath it. I don't know. It's very overwhelming. So it's so fucking overwhelming that you're asking a stand-up comedian what's going to happen. Or maybe you just did because you want to hear me make a fucking ass of myself.